Yo guys, welcome back to another video, and yeah, you can see we've got Aizen on the team, and pretty much what we're doing with Aizen is we're just milking the last passive, where he gains an additional 2% for the duration of the ability by enemies stopped by the wall in it. So pretty much what we're going to be doing is using Baiken, pulling like a 700 enemies into the wall, and then the wall will just stop them, of course, and those enemies are just going to get shredded. And it's funny that Aizen ends up with more damage than Broly and Zilla. Not combined, of course, but total damage on both of them, innit? And yeah, he's just kind of crazy. But yeah, this is the first one we're using Aizen in the well. A lot of you guys do know the strat. It's just Aizen and Baiken, but it hasn't been used in a while. So the last time it's been used was a Soul Society tournament or Underground Church tournament. It was like ages ago, so I don't think any of you guys remember. But yeah, it should get you about 3.15k if you optimize it better and you effectively can store the mobs, the cadets, the ones that are sprinting. Also stalling, making sure that you get the second Aizen passive off, like effectively this one, where he basically does a pushback for 5 seconds. If you can get that off correctly as well, you can potentially get up to 3.2k. And if your wall does not mess up, because I've had a lot of runs here where the wall, yeah, where the enemies just bypass it, and somehow I don't know why it happens, but it does happen. But yeah, let's just get into this run. Okay, see in the top left, you have the domain at 34. Just don't forget that. That's one thing that you just shouldn't be forgetting at all. And yeah, pretty much, I didn't show you the verbs I was using. Oh, that's a issue. Oh, I guess I'll leave them in the comments. But yeah, yeah, I'll leave the percentages in the comments. Yeah, here you place Aizen and you time it a bit. You wait until the sprinter, the cadet, gets a bit closer, and then you time it and then you place it. And that way it should hit him, taking his shield off. And then yeah, of course, you just let Aizen do the rest of the work and give him the damage buff whenever you can. There you go. And then you kills both of them as well. And now you can upgrade your farm. And yeah, there should be no leaks at this point. And the burb you want for your Aizen is pretty much what am I thinking? Oh yeah, the burb you want for Aizen is a damage buff, crit damage, and range. Crit chance doesn't matter because the domain is gonna take him to max. Crit chance anyway. As long as the crit chance is not negative, it's fine. Well, not a high negative. You get a lot of damage on Aizen. I don't know if I show it in the video clip, but you get around like 76 billion damage on Aizen. Yeah, if you want, you can place a Baiken right here, just to store these mobs a bit. Because one sprinter does get ahead, and then he's gonna end up leaking. Yeah, wave 7, you should have your tackle order maxed out. And you place Broly here, set him to closest. And yeah, Broly's gonna be stuck in closest the whole time, pretty much. Because towards the end of the run, when a lot of mobs are leaking, he's in a good spot, you know. But yeah, you wanna place your Zilla now. Of course, after you dealt with the leak, if there is a leak. And then you just you don't upgrade Zilla yet. You wanna let Broly get his discounts up. And you want to get your back placements ready. One at this corner, one at that corner, and one at the front. Placed in a kind of weird spot, but you want him to be that back to be closer to the path on the left than the front of her. I don't know how to explain it, but I'm sure you guys know what I mean. But yeah, once you got Zilla maxed, that boss will just be dealt with by Zilla. And in terms of Zilla replacements, I mean, there's not really anyone because we're using Zilla for his burn. We want his burn so we can give the Salamander Dagger to our Broly. I don't think there's anyone who does pretty much the same thing as Zilla. You want to be giving your Dragon Slayer to Zilla as well. But yeah, you want to be waiting for your Broly to get not discounted, just to get enough yen. When you get 104k yen, you just max him. And yeah, upon wave 18, you should be having your Broly maxed out. And from here, you just want to give him the Salamander Dagger. That's the main reason we're using his Lizard, or Godzilla. Is so you can have that Salamander Dagger up, so Broly has 20% more range, and he's doing 20% more damage to enemies that are burning, that's why. So it's low-key just pairing them up together. So I'm not sure who else can replace Zilla. You can go for, of course, Tengen or what's the name? Conquest. But you won't be, you have to place Broly a bit slightly in front because he won't really benefit from the Salamander Dagger. So you just pretty much just use the damage one. Regular master work on him. Dragon Slayer. But you want to be maxing Aizen now so you can get his wall, and you're going to wall off this boss just to kill him. I mean, this tournament is not really hard. It just gets slightly. I was had difficult. It's just slightly annoying because it can lag a bit. But yeah, from like wave 32 onwards or wave 30 onwards, you just focus. But yeah, wave 25, you should be getting enough yen for the wall, and you can wall off this boss. So yeah, when he gets close to Aizen, we just wall him off, and yeah, he should be getting killed by this. Because of the wall, we got the damage on the wall. Of course, Aizen doing damage, and then Broly's just shredding him as well. But here, you're going to be dumping your money into this Backen at the very back, or the far right, and get her to, of course, the corn upgrade, and set her at the closest. But yeah, you should be having this bike at maxed around like wave 28, 29. And yeah, you can see she's set the closest and she's dealing with these mobs. And you want to ready up your eyes and wall for wave 31 for when the boss spawns. And when the boss does spawn, you want to be wooling him off as soon as he spawns. But yeah, as soon as he spawns, you wall him off. And there's a bit of RNG in this as well, because you do need the thing not to lag you off, and of course the enemy go through the wall. And then there's this part as well, with Biken's attach passive. Remember, this Biken that I'm hovering over is on attach mode. So yeah, you want to make sure that she attaches the boss. So yeah, look, you will see the boss will get extra 2 seconds still here. 1, and then 2, and then he starts walking again. Wait, it's 4 seconds actually, yeah. And now for this boss, we're gonna, you see, the first Biken we placed on the left. And make sure you, of course, don't mean 30, wave 34. You see the Biken that's solo by herself on the top left. We're gonna be upgrading her, so we can pull the boss in. And then we're gonna replace her at the back, you will see. It's just to stall the boss a bit longer. So only upgrade her when she gets close to leaking. I mean, only upgrade her when the boss gets close to leaking. The Vegeta. See, just keeping the tethered on him. And we're gonna stop at a certain upgrade. 1 upgrade before, 3 upgrades before max. So 1 more and then that's it. We're only gonna do it at this pull. We're gonna pull here. And of course just leave this one for now, set to last. So this bike is repulsing the enemies at the very spawn. Because this bike over here is gonna have the AoE set to closest. And this one's gonna be on last. So yeah, this one can hit the ones that spawn and the other one can be hitting the ones closest to her. And then you wanna wall off this boss as well again. So there's 2 walls on this boss by the way. And then the third time we get the wall, we're gonna be using it for the mobs. And that's the part that is kind of RNG based because it's just so laggy that the mobs just walk through. So you need to be so careful with it. But you want to be finding the right placement for this next beacon, and you have to be like placing the silver spear and then checking the range. And there's a specific way you want it. It's like this, perfectly that, like that. But you want her to, in a way, to not hit the corner. So she's not hitting that corner where the Vegeta is right now. You just want her to be hitting where she's hitting now. Not the corner where Vegeta is, because if she hits that when you set to last, it's gonna mess up your targeting. And you want to be setting this back into first, alternating her so she can repulse these mobs as well. And just keep setting it to closest and first whenever you can. And once you got the wall back, you see these mobs that are getting close, the cadets. These are the ones that you want to be wooling off. You can see I do it over here, but these ones I did it a bit too close to them, so the one at the front leaked and the ones at the back actually got stopped. And see that one even leaked as well. So you have to put it slightly in front of them as well, so it just does not leak. And this is a problem when FPS is kind of low. The game is just that ass to the point where it just lags. And yeah, they just walk through. And you can see what I mean with Broly. He's hitting perfectly, like that whole portion of the map from the pathing wise. And then he's also, of course, doing the follow ups, hitting the people behind him as well. Yeah, you're going to be playing this by targeting and making sure you repulse as many mobs as possible. Closest is pretty much ideal because it allows you to repulse a lot of these guys. But yeah, you're just going to be focusing, repulsing these enemies at the front. If you do kill a few of them, it becomes even better. But yeah. Ideally, you want no lag as well because look, I'm put damage on them because I want to kill as many mobs as possible. Any of these ones that are leaking. Because you see, I do kill one of them, which actually helps a bit. But here you want to be taking off the masterwork from the lizard and giving it to Aizen. And then taking off the repulse and setting this back into last. You can see that mob at the front died. Meaning the pushback is going to happen now. And we turn auto off at 49, remember that? Auto off at 49. And you want to be doing this, walling off slightly next to in front of Aizen. And then pulling. And then all the mobs should get pulled over here. And what that means is, yeah, you can see the damage on the boss. Even though he's walking, his actual position is near the wall. And he's just losing a lot of HP. And that's where most of our kills come from, you know? You can see the kills just racking up. And Aizen's just probably at 1 mil with DPS right now. And yeah, it goes crazy. But yeah, that's it for the strat. If you can time it better, of course, you can get a few more seconds by clicking yes when you die. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the strat. Like and subscribe, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one. Peace.